A huge point of contention right now, leading up to the 2024 election, is voter ID. As we know, so many states have passed voter ID laws, or the lack thereof, and stating that anyone and everyone can vote, even so far as to push for illegals to vote. This is undermining our quote-unquote democracy. And let's put that myth to bed. It is not. We are not in a democracy. It's a constitutional republic with a representative democracy. Look up what Benjamin Franklin said about democracy. It's not what we think it is in this country. Now, voter ID is possibly the most important thing that we have aside from preventing Google from interfering in the election and shifting votes, and fake votes and Dominion voting machines being hacked. So we're going to watch a clip here from PBD podcast, Patrick Bet David. When you come to these conversations, you have to have facts. You have to have data. There are so many people out there who call you a conspiracy theorist up until the point that they actually release the information, which lately they've been releasing all of the cards that they have up their sleeve. So watch this, and we'll touch base once the video's over.
Access to smartphones as much as whites do, by 2%. Why do we have a hard time? Maybe we start voting with maybe not IDs. You come in with your ID and I kind of show my face and I go like this. And if we can do that, yep. Nope, this is not Patrick. This is not him. Yeah, okay, good. This is him. We can verify this. Why are we so worried about finding systems to verify? Let me give you data and then I'm going to come to my friend here, Chris. Ready?
Now, what Patrick is talking about here, and this is the episode, it's in the episode from today, Candace Owens and Chris Cuomo go on PBD podcast. This is in front of a live audience, and Cuomo got shredded throughout. But what's interesting is what he's talking about here, he's referencing somebody that contacted him, wanting him to become part of the business that he has developed, or the software he's developed. Facial recognition essentially being a two-factor authentication for basically all the important things in your life, namely bank account, Bitcoin wallets. It's super advanced technology. But anyway, Patrick is saying maybe we don't use voter ID specifically with driver's licenses, picture ID. And you'll see it here. A lot of these states, they don't even have a system in place where you have to have a photo ID, and then the rest of them don't have any voter ID requirements at all. So that's what he was referencing there.
So 16 out of 50 states in America do not require an ID to vote. Those 16 out of 50 states, Rob, if you can pull this up, those 16 out of 50 states have 212 of the electoral votes out of the 538. Let me say it again. The 16 out of 50 states, you have no need to go like this and walk in when you're voting to say, hey, can you please pull out your ID and do one of these things? Nope, you don't have to do it. They're not asking for your ID. They could care less about your ID. 212. Now watch this. 11 out of 50 states don't require a photo ID.
212. That's almost half. And that's only 16 states with 212. So, I mean, think about that and the impact that that has on our election when so much of the country's population is inside of those states.
You can just give an ID, but no photo. Did you guys understand me so far? Those 11 out of 50 states that don't require a photo ID to vote have 69 electoral votes out of the 538. 69 plus 212, it's a sweep forever for the left. Just so you know this. This is not me telling you this. This is the government telling you this, what our guidelines are by states today. And the rest, 23 out of 50 states, only 23, less than 50% of our states actually require to go like this. How pathetic is that, Chris, to have something like that? You don't have to be a left, right, or a center person to say that doesn't make sense. What are your thoughts on this, the way we're voting today?
There's a lot that goes to it. You have half the representation of the U.S. government represents 1/3 of the population. Why? Because of how we do it with the Senate and redistricting rules and stuff like that. So there's a fundamental imbalance. Voter ID, here are the two arguments, and you can assess them how you want. Is it that, I forget how it was explained earlier, but I don't know that it's that the government, whatever that means, if you want to ascribe it all to one groupthink, doesn't trust blacks or think minorities are capable of or whatever. But the argument is that culturally, socioeconomically, as you go down in terms of the poverty level, as poverty becomes more important, there's less connection with government. There's less percentage of people who want to interface with government and who have identification. So the argument is, if you say you need an ID to vote, you will have an unfair bias against those strata of society that don't tend to get IDs and don't want to deal with government.
Okay, but I just have.
I'm just saying that is the argument.
No, it's not an argument to lie. Okay, because
But
it's
that
not
is the
about, you
argument.
don't get an ID because you want to engage with government. You get
It's
an
a lie.
ID because you want to drive. You get an ID because you're 19
Right.
and you're 21 and you want to have your first drink. You get an ID because you quite literally need an ID to do so many things in
That's
society.
true.
So forget it. You wouldn't say that people that are in a lower socioeconomic class are never drinking, are never driving, are never doing all of the other things that are required, never seeing a movie that's above PG-16. You need an ID to do so much in life. So you're focusing, this is the lie. You're saying, well, they don't tend to vote. That might be true. That might definitely be true.
No, they
but
don't
that's
tend
not
to
why
have
they're getting an
IDs.
ID. That's not why they're getting an ID. So
I understand.
They're just lying.
I understand. I don't think it's a lie. It could be wrong. It could be a
If
false
it's wrong,
assumption.
then it's a lie. If you keep saying it, if it's
No.
wrong and you keep saying it, it becomes a lie, right?
Wrong.
No, that's only
There's
if,
no black people that are not getting their IDs.
That's-
I
look,
came from
again-
a low socioeconomic background. I got my driver's license when I was 16 years old
All right.
because I wanted to drive and
I
pick
get
up
it.
my boyfriend.
I get it. And
Those are the
and-
reasons people get IDs.
I
That's
get it.
simple.
Yep. Okay, so it's common sense. When you watch this video, please put in the replies how many people you've ever met in your entire life that hasn't had an ID. Now, we're not talking about people who have had their ID suspended, and they still have an ID to identify themselves. But how many people have you ever met in your entire life that has not had any form of identification? So exactly what Candace said. And if there's anything you pull away from this video, the main thing is, if somebody says something that they know is wrong, it's a lie. Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom right there. So it's a lie. They're spreading a massive lie to sow division and to keep society at odds with one another when the whole premise of this is total bullshit. So, yeah, share the video. I would love for people to, whether it's my video or it's, just the PBD video, and you can search it up on YouTube, share this, because I don't think many people know quite how bad this is getting and how bad it could be, and how our elections could never be valid ever. If there's no voter ID, how do you know if said person has voted 10 times, 20 times? How do you know if the government isn't just arbitrarily entering numbers? Oh, yep, it was votes. Well, we don't have voter ID. So, yeah, you can just arbitrarily make the vote and the count say whatever you want. So, anyway, another video is coming up later tonight. We're going to recap the Joe Biden State of the Union and most importantly, as the most effective rebuttal to the ridiculous State of the Union and the massive amount of lies that Joe Biden spewed, we're going to cover Agenda 47, which is Donald Trump's, his platform for the 2024 presidency. As he is going to win so long as we don't have voter fraud like this is indicative of. So I hope you enjoyed. Follow, share, please. We're growing quickly, and that's all thanks to you guys and following and sharing the posts. So, yeah, we'll be back later. We will recap State of the Union and cover Agenda 47, which is Donald Trump's platform for this next presidency. Thanks, guys. Peace.